This conference will now be recorded.
Hi team.
Hi, Shrikant.
Seems to be count is very less. No. Okay, let's move on. Think it is not recording. I don't know. Let me ask them to record it. Okay. Okay. Until yesterday, we had learned about the what is the use case, how many ways to create a project, what is a flow, what is a subflow, and private flow. Okay. Now, as part of today's session, I will show you out one HTTP listener and the project structure. Okay. So basically, all the MuleSoft projects are Mavenized projects. Okay. So Mavenized projects means, so what will happens in the real time? What is the purpose of the Maven is? So basically, you will develop the projects over here. Okay. So all this code is in a human understandable format. Okay. Whatever the flows or data view language which you created within this, okay, these are all human understand. We can easily understand what's happening over here, but computer cannot understand. Okay, for that, so Maven will be used as a interpreter. Okay, so it will take not interpreter, just it will helpful to the system. Okay, what it will do is it will take human understandable data to the system understandable format. Okay, so here Maven will do all these things. Okay, so what will happen is it will take data from the src main mule, src main java resources. Okay, from these three places it will take the data. Okay, and it will convert into a system understandable format as a archive files like jar. Okay, var, like that, ear, like that, it will convert and it will hand over to the server. So those files will be deployed into the mule esb server. Okay, and thereafter it will available for the client to see the request and responses. It will serve the request and responses for the clients. Okay, so this Maven is called a build tools. Okay, build tool. These build tools, you need to aware, you need to learn these build tools. Okay, from here, let me show you out. So I can recommend, I'm sharing this URL over here. You need to complete this part by end of your training, at least by the time. We are not going to use this one, but If you are in a discussion with your colleagues, obviously this will come into the place. Okay, so they will ask you the build is successful or not. Okay, what is the issue? Can you run it again? Okay, can you compile it again? Can you clean and compile it again? Like that they will ask. So if you want to understand those kind of technical terms, at least you should aware what's happening by using the Maven. Okay, so at least very high level you should aware all these things. Okay, so that is the one. Okay, and this is all called a Mavenizer structure, as I told you, right? All this part, wherever you see src slash main slash mule, all this part as Mavenizer structure. So how will you come to know that this is a Mavenizer? Wherever you see the form file, that is called, that is belongs to the Maven. Okay, so this POM file represents all the dependencies, all the libraries which it is required for your project to run successfully. Okay, for example, we have in our class, in our demo, we add the database connector, right? So automatically database dependency will be added to your POM file. This POM file, uh, download this file, this db file, modules file, into m2 repository, dot m2 repository. Okay, the structure within within this folder, the very first folder is arc. Okay, so within the arc, there again MuleSoft folder, there again connectors folder, there again within that mule db connector, then within that 1.8.0 folder. Okay, there you can see the libraries, jar files or whatever it is. Okay, so where it will download all these files, those files will be get downloaded by using these repository definitions. Okay, by using these repositories, from these repositories. So normally people will use the nexus, okay, based on your organization of interest. So what it will do is, the repository, cloud repositories, this nexus will connect from developer machine. Once the request received to nexus will check internal repository. If the jar is available, we'll give it back. Otherwise, if the jar is not available, we'll check the cloud repository, and if it is available, it will download and it will share to the developer. Okay, this way you can save the lot of memory, I would say a lot of processing. Okay, that is the one thing. And whenever it is added, okay, as I told you, right, once if you add db module to your drag and drop, it will affect in the POM file, automatically it will be modified. Either you can achieve that way, or if you directly mentions this one in your POM file, automatically the module will be added to your project over here. Okay, and after that, even though it will add it to the this place also. Okay, this place also. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, anyone has any questions tips so far?
No.
Good. So let's use the HTTP listener. Okay, in the HTTP module, we have 4 other submodules are there. Let's understand first listener. So do you know how the I'm saying, whenever you submitted when you click on a submit button, when you form buttons or whatever it is, do you know what's happening behind the scene? Anyone can tell me? So you are in a browser. Once user click on the submit button, okay, then what will happens?
Event generator.
Come again, bro.
Event.
Okay, event.
event generator, and it makes a call, API call to the associated event.
Okay. So okay, now cool. So basically, any web page, if it is communicating with the HTTP, most of the web pages, all the web pages, okay, it will communicate the data based on the HTTP protocol. Okay. So if you update an address of the HTTP, okay, once for example, under the submit button, if you map your address, okay, HTTP address, then once the user click on the button, the request will send to the particular address. If the address is located to the particular server, okay, then it will take the request and it will process it, okay, and at the end it will save the database, or it will send to the some other location or some other system, whatever it is. So what we need to understand over here is the listener is an important, okay. The listener means it will listens the request from the clients always on that particular address. In our case, our address will be look like this way: localhost 8081. You can add a path like test or Google or like that. In the real time, this address will be translated to the domain name. Okay, localhost 8081 will be translated to the www.google.com. Okay, and slash test. So how this is happening? This address will be registered with a DNS, domain naming server. Okay, these people will give you this one. Okay, even once it is provided, this is again it was differentiated with the HTTP. If you want HTTP or HTTPS, okay, so the HTTP, what will happen is the communication between the two systems. Okay, normally if you use the HTTP, the data is flowing through the internet. Okay, it will be visible to the hacker. There is no encryption or decryption. For example, if you entered a card number, something like this, okay, and if it is HTTP protocol, what will happen is the same data will be sent to the internet, okay, and internet to particular server. There is no encryption. Hacker can sit on a particular internet. He can listen all the messages which is flowing out from your port number, okay, or from the particular Wi-Fi address or whatever it is. He will read that information and he can use it opposite to you. Okay, so that's the reason most of the companies, they prefer started using the HTTPS. The HTTPS, what they will do is, there is a CA, certificate authority, so you need to register your domain name over here. So they will make this domain into a safe zone, okay, like a safe ID, okay, so that it will show you on your web page it is a HTTPS. Okay, after that what it will do is, once you click on a submit button, the HTTP certificate, they will provide a certificates to you in the browsers and your server as well. Okay, for the browsers you don't need to install anything. In the server, yes, you need to install certificates. Okay, so once you enter the details, the browser will be converted into a different format, encryption format, like AC1 $123, like this. Once it is transformed, data will be sent to the internet. Once it reaches to the server, will be decrypted to the original 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So that is the difference between the HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so in the listener side, okay, in the listener side, we are always listens the messages from the clients. So first, before we are listening, we need to prepare an address. Okay, let's click on a plus button over here. So if you observe over here, Either you need to choose HTTP or HTTPS. In the real time, yes, you will choose the HTTPS. Okay, and the host name will be your private IP. Always you can use the local host. You don't need to worry about it. Automatically the request will be translated to the private IP. Okay, and the port number and these details will be provided by the your DevOps team. Why? Because these port numbers they keep on changes. Why? Because to avoid the security loopholes. Okay, due to the several reasons. Okay, that's why all these things is part of your properties files. We'll discuss those things, how to use the property file going forward. Okay, so whatever you define in this place, this is called a global connector. Okay, entire this part is called global connector. Okay, so those global connectors are part of over here, the global elements. This will available for all of your HTTP listener connectors. If you give a path like this over here is a test. Okay, if you use in other listener, other path, okay, then you can't use it. For example, if you use this listener to differentiate the request, here you will show here you will give the one more path, like saying that test one. Okay, so your address look like localhost 8081 test and test one. Okay, and if you use one more HTTP listener in the other path, okay, you can differentiate the path by using the test 2. Okay, so that the request will be unique and it will be received, the appropriate listener will act on that particular request. Okay, that is the one. And if it is HTTPS, obviously you need to choose the TLS and SSL certification. Okay, so here this is the one. So here you need to choose the edit inline or global reference. Global reference means all the people can use it. Okay, edit inline means only this specific flow can use it. Okay, or specific connector you can say that instead of. The trust store is nothing but each and every system contains the trust store, which it means all the server certificates will be stored on your trust store path. Okay, either by default in all our machines trust store is configured in Windows machine or any machines. You don't need to do anything else. If it is a private machine, private server, then you need to configure trust only this particular project level. Okay, you can configure trust store by the path and the password and the type. By using the, you can normally where it is located, your trust, this trust store configurations will be provided by the servers. Okay, so for example, if you are connecting to the Amazon AWS, okay, there's those people will create it and it will be shared with you. Okay, so that is called those people will give you the client certificate. Okay, those client certificates will be saved over here. Okay, these trust store or key store things you can create by using the, there are plenty of tools. I think Java, yes, I think so. I don't know. There is a one command is there. You can use that to create your client and public, sorry, private and public certificates or client certificates or whatever it is. Okay, and while you are creating, it will ask you for the password as well. All those details you will come to know, whatever the details which is mentioned over here, you will come to know that and you will fill all these details. Mostly the developers won't get a chance to fill all these details. The DevOps teams or architect will provide it to you. You need to update it in this place. Okay, clear team so far?
Sriram.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this when we use the HTTPS, then only we have to use this TLS, right?
Absolutely, you're right. Yes.
Okay.
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 Okay. Now If you use the persistence connections, okay, so normally each and every request and response, it will take 3 seconds. Okay, so if it is reaches to the 3 seconds, that is not a standard. So as per the international guidelines, each and every HTTP request need to be served within the 3 seconds. Okay, so here if you get the uh, multiple connections, okay, so it will say that connection ideal timeout, if it is reaches more than 30,000 milliseconds, okay, it will say that connection timeout. You can change it for 40 or 50, that is up to you, up to your organization. Okay, so that is the only reason for this. Okay, if you use the reconnection, if you use check box, for example, while you are replying to the customer, okay, if it is failed, okay, while you are replying to the customer, if the connection is broken, if the client machine is shut down, and it is not, you can't, it is not feasible to send a response, right? So in that case, it will uses the reconnection strategy. In the reconnection strategy, what will happen is, when it will keep on tries until 4 to 5 times. Okay, and if the even after the 5th time it is fails to send a response back to the customer, then it will terminate the request. Okay, within the 5 to 6 times, if the user become online, then well and good. Okay, and even each and every interval within the 5 times, next interval you can define the time, 2 seconds or 3 seconds or 1 minute or 10 minutes, like that you can define. So that's all about the global connector level configuration team. Now, did you understand when we need to use the HTTP, or when we need to use the HTTPS, and when we use the HTTP listener?
Yes.
Okay,
And also
cool.
there is a connection test also, right? So you can able to see whether your
Yeah,
connection is successful.
normally it will be work. It will,
Yeah.
okay, that's not, doesn't matter. I would say if the port number is changes, then even testing it is not, it's okay, because all the times the connector, it will connect HTTP connector. But if it is database, yes, obviously you need to test it, you need to check. Okay, that is the thing. And here I'm giving you the test is just address as test. Okay, now this is a local connector, the specific to the your path. Okay, so over here MIME types, okay, for example, the requests are coming from the some customers, right? So the MIME types means the type of body message which is coming, type of data which is sending. For example, has different ways of treating for the each and every type. Okay, for example, if it's an XML or JSON, okay, for example XML, the client may treat within XML the null values, okay, in a different manner. Okay, we are going to treat these values as a empty. Okay, all the times null values we are treating as an empty, even doesn't matter if the values contains the null or blank, whatever it is, we are treating as empty. You can convert it. Okay, so that beforehand to process, you can do all the validation checks, not validation, just formatting checks. You can achieve it. Okay, even you can use the encoding or decoding concepts. Okay, for example, in some companies, some XML files, they will use some kind of characters. That characters are belongs to the some kind of languages. You can say uh, Unicode URL 16 or something like that. Okay, you can select any one of specific. It will properly translate it a desired structure and format. Okay, those things, it will transform and it will hand over to the next message processor team. Okay, so redelivery, this is particular to this flow. Just now we discussed it, right? So while you're redelivering, what will happen if they say anything is failed, it will store in an object store. We will discuss this object store later point of time. Okay, and it will keep on tries. Okay, it will keep on try to send the data. If it is even fail, until 5 times it will do that. Okay, that's it. And the response, so once everything is successful, the response will send back to the customer. The response, either you can convert, if it is failed, the response you can define over here. I'm saying you don't need to be by default, no one will touch this one. Just in case there are a lot of enhancements are going on. Okay, each and every the last message processor type is data type is keep on changing, that you will define over here. Okay, so here you will say that whatever the message which is coming to the last message processor, so convert it into an XML or JSON, whatever the format you want. Okay, it doesn't matter. At the end it will convert it to this place, or if you do not want that way, and if you want headers like keep alive the session, okay, caching mechanism, if you want to cache the headers in the client machine, you can do that. You can say that, like there are plenty of other messages you can set it over here. And the status codes also, you can define the status codes as well. Okay, and even the same, if there is an error message, if there is an error is occurred, HTTP listener will send a error message to the user. It will be difficult to understand by the client, so you can translate it to desired format or desired message, and you can send it to the user by by changing the proper message. Even headers you can add like this. That is the only purpose of, mostly you won't touch these things, as I know. Even I am not touched my entire 6 years of experience. Okay, so in the advanced section, if you want to block some unnecessary, if you want to restrict specific requests, there are HTTP level, HTTP, this is called HTTP protocol. In the HTTP protocol level, there are 12 methods are there. Okay, you don't need to learn about all these things, but mostly you will learn get and post, mostly these two. Okay, so apart from that, any other method, if you want to restrict not to have, okay, you will define over here. Okay, get and post, so it will take only these two requests. Apart from that, any other request receives, then it will say that the service is not available, so something like that. Okay, like that it will give you. Okay, so the important one over here is streaming mechanism. Okay, so the customer, if he is trying to send a huge files, okay, to the server, he is registering. For example, if he's in a visa, or maybe you can say a passport application, there you need to upload a lot of files to the verification purpose, right? So if once you uploaded and you click on a submit button, while it is sending, something is broken, what will happen? You need to re-upload, right? So by using the streaming mechanism, it won't load all the files at a time. It will read the chunk by chunk. For example, in the client machine, if you have 100 TB, 1 TB file, okay, if you are sending to the server, if the streaming mode is enabled, so what will happen is the browser will take 1 MB and it will send to the customer. Again, it will take 1 MB, it will take the server, like that until unless it will complete the 1 TB file. Okay, until unless it completes 1 TB file. Okay, if anything is broken, only it will retake last 1 MB file. Okay, last 1 MB, whichever the connection is failed, I'm saying broken, that bit of data only it will take and it will send to the server. Okay, that's all about this one. You can add the streaming mode enable or whatever you can do that, you can achieve. Okay, that's all about the HTTP listener team. Any questions so far?
Hi, Sriram. This is Hemant. So what is the real-time application of this? So is this if I want to stream something, or if I want to provide, I have a website where I wanted to display my course catalog, like what are the products I have. So I just stream from some other YouTube to my website. So is that we can use this HTTP, or it's only also whenever you wanted to bulk data thing, then you can use this you know
No,
uh, HTTP.
no. Here the thing is, if you want to load HTTP, sorry, can you repeat again? You are asking HTTP difference or only streaming difference?
HTTP, yeah,
HTTP, right?
yeah,
So in
yeah.
the HTTP, if you are publishing your data from other website in your website, it doesn't matter. Okay. So at the end, if you are giving the response to your client, that should be HTTPS.
Okay. So
If,
is this asynchronous or asynchronous? The response will be.
basically, it is a request and response. It is a synchronous. Okay.
Okay.
Once you get the request and you need to serve the response.
Okay.
So asynchronous means, so yes, it could be an asynchronous also, but asynchronous is, you should not apply. The entire request will be taken as asynchronous. Entire request. It will serve 2 to 3 requests at the same time. That way you can treat as asynchronous. Okay. Some people will say that only this connector is asynchronous. Yeah, no. Okay. Entire request will be asynchronous.
Okay.
Entire process will be asynchronous.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Sure. Thank you.
Instead of asynchronous, you can say the parallel processing. That is the best term. Okay. In asynchronous, you will use individual connectors. For example, you got a request. Okay, the request will come to here, and if it is asynchronous scope, it will execute on a separate thread, and it will move on to the next message processor immediately. It won't wait. Okay, like that in the requests also, it has to wait. If it is not waiting, then it is called asynchronous. For example, Ajax calls, right? In the Ajax calls is asynchronous. It will send a request, and once its response is received, then it will become as a, it will show to the user. Like it will fire and forgot. It will fire and forgot design pattern. It will follow. Okay.
Sure. And what about, let's say if I have some errors, if the XML is not properly formatted, you are logging that. So let's say if I corrected that file, then I'm just requesting once again from the listener is again connected. So how will we know that this is once you receive the response? So how we will know that everything is successful? Because sometimes in intermittent, it might get fail, right? So how
Yeah,
will
yeah.
you distinguish it's successful?
So success, we are not going to distinguish. Okay. If you keep on sending the request, yes, it will keep on. You can identify it's a duplicate request or a unique request. You don't know if it is failed or successful. The user only come to know that if it is failed, he will see the error message on the screen, then
Okay,
he will resubmit it. If it is failed, then it will print the message on our console also, log file also. That time you can come to know that okay, this particular request has failed.
okay, got it.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, so let's discuss. These 2 points are very much important in your day-to-day you are going to use. Okay, so listener and requester. Okay, first let me, I will give you some use case and let me know which case you are going to use the listener and which case you are going to use the requester. Okay, if I want to take the data from eBay, which one I have to use? From my application,
You
I
have to
want
go
to
for
take
the
the data. Go ahead, bro.
you have to go for the requester.
Okay, good. if I want to what question? If I want to give the data, right? If I want to take the data from the eBay, which one I have to use?
Take the data. Your listener should always poll that for any new updates on the eBay.
Okay, let me put another way around. I want to take the data at my own interest of time.
Mhm.
I want to take the data. Again, request.
Yeah.
Right? I want to my own interest of time. He is not giving. I am taking the data. I am giving the data, or I am taking the data. Okay. That is totally in my control. Okay. Okay. Now let me tell you one more thing. Okay. So there is Amazon and Adidas. Okay. So Amazon want to place an order to Adidas. What should it do? What is required?
Amazon has to place an order to Adidas with a request, HTTP request.
Okay. Who will use the HTTP request?
Amazon will initiate to Adidas.
Okay. Here it will use the request. Then
And
Adidas
Adidas will be listener.
absolutely you're right.
Adidas
Listen.
API is trying to listen for the HTTP request.
Okay. So Amazon Adidas want to place a want to send a product details to the Amazon. Now
It's a push, right, from Adidas to Amazon. Then it is
go ahead.
it's a request. No, it is
Okay.
not pulling. It is just a push.
Then
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, push
request.
is
Amazon would be listener. No.
right. Now we are very good, right? Now where we use the requester and where we use the listener, right? Are we good, or can we do some more exercises? Huh?
so always requester will be the sender and listener will be the receiver.
Yes, either receiver or he will response will be given back. Response means some data is giving back at the time.
Yeah, in synchronous scenarios, response will be.
Yes, synchronous. Yes, always you have to be. Sometimes you will use the get method to take
Okay.
only the data. Sometimes you will listener will behave as a post method. The client is going to send the data. So how could we differentiate? At own interest of time, someone is sending the data to you. Okay, you need to give the listener address to send to you. Okay, if you are sending data, or if you are taking the data from someone, then you need to use the requester. Getting?
Yep.
Everyone, team? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, now in our case HTTP listener, so in the real time how it will be look like, so let me show you. This is the address. Okay, this is the button. Once you click on, what will happen? The Gmail will get open, right? So because the address is updated on the Gmail, that particular button. Okay, how will you see that? So right click over here, choose the inspect. So if you give your own address over here, the request will come to your machine. Okay, so normally what will happen, UI development continues separately, middleware development will complete and will be done on separately, database side some other third-party system development will complete on separate sides. So UI without depending view, they will complete the forms. Okay, anything. Then let me give you one more thing, and middleware we also will independently develop the applications. Okay, for example, Salesforce developer account. So normally once the user click on a submit button, I want sign up. Okay, the request will come to our machine. Okay, so I will fill these details and I will show you how the request is going to come to our machine. Okay, so let's see now. So we created the dummy data, right?
Yep.
Come on. So always I will recommend to use the debugging mode. So the debugging mode you can achieve by right clicking on a particular message processor and choosing the toggle breakpoint. Okay, then debug as Mule application. Okay, so now once you click on that, Maven will interacted and it will clean the data. This is the one. Okay, it will show you build successful or not. Okay, so build successful means there is no compilation errors. Okay, once there is no compilation issues, then it will be deployed this file, okay, into the server. Okay, now it is deployed. Okay, it is deployed. Now it is deploying. Okay, so the server is running. Okay, it is deploying now. Now if we want to initiate this flow, what we need an address of this listener so that we can send a request. What is our address? Localhost 8081/test. Is that right? Sorry,
Yep.
/test and test. Two tests are there. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's go back to your browser. Okay, take the inspect over here. Okay, scroll up. Here you can update action level. You can update your address. Okay, http localhost 8081/test and test. Okay, so in hacking this is called as uh, scripting. There is a naming is there, cross-site scripting. Yeah, this is called cross-site scripting. Once you in emails they will ask you for the hackers will ask you for the your account is disabled, can you would like to reset it. Okay, so but at the end if you click on the particular button, so the button won't take you to the original website. They will create almost a similar like the website. Okay, that is a pretty much easy. They can download the entire HDFC website code and they can mimic the same behavior. Okay, so they will update like this. Okay, even even if you open the site, it won't request won't go over there. Okay, so like this. So once you are done, enter all these details. Okay, so okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, and employees 1 to 10. Just okay, agree and click on start my free trial. Okay, so the request will come to your HTTP. Okay, where is this? It is not coming. What it has missed. I think the action is not performing well. Why? Let me check. Is there any other place? Action, submit form. Let me check. Is there any other place? I think that is the only place. I think behind the scene they may using different ones to receive the request. Okay, maybe we'll use some other thing, some other forms, uh, like which one is the best? Which one file is best? Which one file? Let me see. Inspect. Okay, yeah, this is seems to be perfect. Okay, let's see now. HTTP localhost 8081 test test. Okay, and I'm going to give the details.
So did you give the post method in the listener?
No, that is get method. This is the get method, right? We are not sending anything. Just we are.
Here.
This is URL parameters.
Okay.
Okay, mail. Click on sign me up. Okay, user registration failed. Why? Test user. Test user. Okay. Let me see. Invalid date of birth. Shit here. 1997. Okay, invalid date of birth still why? 1962, 1987. Let me see. Why this is saying invalid birth date? Strange.
Maybe the cache in the browser.
Yeah, could be.
Cookies.
Okay, let me use the for Gmail. I don't want to be, but that is the same way people will do normally. Okay, the request once you are completed, whatever the address you provided, that address UI team will update on this place. Okay, but in the code level, here you need to change each and every time. But if you change in the code level, you don't need to be doing anything like this again and again and again. Okay. So now if I click on the Gmail button, I will get a request. Okay, let me see. Now I received a request, right? So it is showing you dotted line around the logger. Now you can go and verify. Okay, attributes. You can say that this is a request which you received from the page. Okay, this is the address, this is the location. Okay, this is the remote address where you got the request. Okay, all this information you are going to get by using this way. Okay, that is the way. Okay, either this listener not only use it for the web pages, the requester, I would say you can send a request by using the requester as well. So you are using the requester means you are not using the web page to send the request, right? The same way you can use the requester to send the request to your listener. I'm going to say what I mean is in web services you are going to use the HTTP listener to communicate between the system to system. Okay, all the times don't expect there is some web page and there is some user to send requests. There are system to system communications also there. That time also you are going to use the listener. Once we start the RAML discussions or RESTful discussions, you will come to know that. Okay. Any questions, team, from anyone? That's all about the HTTP, listener. Tomorrow we will discuss about the requester and database. Not tomorrow, maybe Monday or Tuesday, whatever it is. Okay. We'll complete the first use case. I'm saying simple. The whatever we discussed on the demo, we will complete it. From there, we will move on to the next message, next concepts. Okay.
Okay, Srikanth. Did you import the Maven structure into the project, or did you create it manually from the new Mule? Currently, when I try, it is just like creating a project. It is just showing the Mule. It is not showing all the Maven structures.
Can you
Is it
share your
default?
could be? I'm not installed anything. Even in your case, also don't need. Can you share your screen? I'm making a presenter.
1 second. Let me try.
Now you don't need anything like that.
Yeah, did you make me the presenter?
Yes, I make you presenter.
It's still no share screen. Yeah, 1 second. Let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Sorry, bro. I asked something. Can you ask me again? Okay, this is
Yeah,
the
are you
one
able
you're
to see my
sharing.
screen now? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to create, but yeah, when I create the file, new Mule project, it just created this structure. It doesn't have the Maven structure. You want me to create new and project and package and folders,
No, you
all
don't
those?
need normally. I think it is not
Mhm.
properly installed. Seems to be. No, 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 no. It is there. It is there. Let me do one thing. Okay. Can you
And
go to your
Sriram, even
Okay.
for me also it is
window?
showing the same way only.
Yeah, yeah. It is showing. Wow, outline. It is showing. Yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah.
Can you go to your window? Yeah.
Oh, show view, maybe
Yeah.
Project
Package
Explorer.
Explorer. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Now you can
got it
see.
here. Yeah, I think that is the outline view. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it takes some time to explore all this new tool,
Right, right, right.
all these views and
Can you
debuggers
please
and
tell me once again in Windows where we have to go?
a window
Window.
and a show view
Okay. Okay,
and
package.
package explorer.
Do one thing. Otherwise, so the best way is go to the preferences. Sorry, perspective. Perspective. Yeah. Reset. Reset. No, 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 no. Reset. Perspective. Yeah. It will come original state. Okay. You can use that one. You can delete anything and you can click on that. It
Sure.
will come to
Yeah.
original state. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not get a even then also.
Uh,
Can you close the package explorer? Can you click on the cancel button over there?
here.
Yeah. Yeah. Click on it. Click on it. Yeah. You lost it now, right? You go to the
Yeah.
window. Yeah. No, 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 no. Perspective. Yeah. Reset. Yep. Yep. Reset. Yep. Did you click? Yeah. Now did you see?
Yeah. I'm able to see it. Yeah.
And you?
And
Yeah, yes, I even got it.
Okay.
uh,
Cool.
yeah, one more thing, like do we, how do because how do we know whether it is a dev system or quality system? Because the same Eclipse are we going to use? Are we
No, all the
separate?
times the testers not even going to touch this code. They are not going to use MuleSoft at all.
I mean,
They will
even
use
for
the
us.
thing, or they will use the Cucumber to write the automation test cases, or some
Mhm.
places they may use the Selenium to write the automation test cases.
Okay. So every time we just need to create new project here and add it to the Maven and deployment process, the
Yes,
pipeline, right?
yes, yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone?
Thank you.
Any other questions? So
Sriram,
tomorrow,
I didn't get that screen when you're have taken in the Hi-Fi website. You have entered the local host information, right?
right,
So I
right.
didn't get what is the exact place you are doing it because of the screen resolution, I couldn't see it.
Okay, so normally inspect, right click over here,
Okay.
right click over here and choose the inspect. Okay.
Yeah.
After
So can you
that,
scroll up that inspect? Yeah. Now I'm able to see it.
okay, there you can see the href references. Sorry, not that one. There is a action means, so what it is going to happen once you click on submit button. Every
Okay.
form has the actions. These are all called
Okay.
as forms.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Here I need to update and then I can test it.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other questions? So yeah, that's all for today. And if you want, I would say who are all from the Career IT Institute, you can drop off, and who are all from my students who are reaching me directly, and please stay here. And if you're remaining people, you can drop off.
Okay, okay, Shrikant. Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a
thank
nice
you.
weekend. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
The caller 01 is from my student. Can you speak out? Okay. Hemant, are you Hemant, right? Hemant Kumar?
Yes, sir. Yes, Sriram.
Okay. Just I'm trying to count how many people from my side.
Sure.
And Ravi Kumar is from my side. And Vinod,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Caller 1, caller 01. Are you Career IT Technologies? Your voice is not audible, bro. Okay. Okay, he's dropped off. Okay, how is the sessions team so far?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, maybe if
Hmm.
we have some assignments, it would be maybe we would understand it a little
Yeah,
bit better. Maybe.
yeah. So far we are not reaching that stage. Okay, it will take some more time to
So
give the
I was
assignment.
trying to identify. So usually RAML we were used. There will be a response,
Yeah,
request, query, and then so that is the skeleton for RAML. So when it comes to this Eclipse, so we are trying to understand what are the connectors are available, and we
yeah,
have understood the flow,
yeah,
and in that now we are at HTTP. So that
yeah.
is my understanding. Correct me if I missed anything. Yeah.
No, no, you are correct. You are correct. We are not at reach to the RAML. It will take 15 more days to
Okay.
reach the RAML stage. First, we are
Sure.
building flows, all the flows for all the requirements we will build. At the end, we will convert the entire requirement into a RAML service.
Okay, but I was thinking like if I see a particular HTTP or other object, MuleSoft object, so I was
Yeah.
trying to think what will be the application, what will be the issues we come across. So I was thinking all those things. Maybe it is
Oh,
too
that's
early
really good.
to.
Yeah, that is really good. You need to do the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. If you follow my concepts, okay, sometimes you may understand, you may forget. Sometimes it's easy to understand, but if you convert to your own requirement, your own way, then you will come to know that there are a lot of issues, lot of other things. That is the
Yes,
best way. I
because
will also follow.
otherwise we will not know like what if I do it in real time, I would never know. Like you might follow one approach, I might follow a different approach. So until unless I know what will be the issues, common issues. So just if you are doing for HTTP, most common issue is you will not get the response. So you will say your client. So those are the common things I faced in my technology. So I just try to apply the same. But this
Exactly.
most of these things are REST based, right? Whatever we are doing in
No,
MuleSoft.
no, not only the REST based, in the even SOAP based services also you are going to use HTTP. HTTP is a protocol, right? On top of
Yes.
it, SOAP or REST, it will work.
Yeah. I mean, the architecture wise, if it is HTTP requests, which we are doing means it's a REST. So
Oh, no,
that's
no.
the basic understanding.
Yeah, basically, yeah, you can think that way. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Normally, you can call as HTTP services, or mostly people, if it doesn't, the RAML is not involved over there, that is called HTTP services. Okay. If the
Okay.
RAML is involved, then that is called as RESTful web services.
So when we say when we are building a connector, so what are the tools we'll be using? We'll be using RAML or these HTTP things mostly. The flow we'll be using.
You will use the RAML, sorry, the HTTP services. Thereafter, you will use one more connector, okay, API router.
Okay.
Okay, that one will decide. Is I would say the methods will be dynamically selected.
Okay,
And
so
the
for
flows,
example, if we have a flight booking website, so you have different places you get like kayak, so you get all the information from
yeah,
that. It's a different website and different different websites will get into the common website and you'll
right,
give you the pricing. Then you book it, then you get a text message. So it will
right,
have the entire architecture of API calls, and you
yeah,
have a MySQL and one more calling to that device. There will be another API. So
yes,
for this, we will be building the connectors, right? So this can
yes,
be done in different ways. So it will be HTTP, and also we can use RAML also, right? Depending
yeah.
on the
No,
systems.
for that, yeah, if you are exposing your services to the
Okay.
outside the world. So for
Okay.
example, I'm the client. I have one more website. I want to show your product details or your travel details in my website. Then I will use your web services to show over here.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are not exposing your service to the outside the world, then you can use the HTTP service only.
Okay.
Okay. Just
So in
web
this
page.
case, this will be a response, right? Whatever I'm requesting, I'm getting a
Yeah.
response from
Yes.
my other clients. So it will be
Right.
displayed in my website. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In our case, so far what we have implemented is HTTP based web services, which it means web page and request web page and MuleSoft will sit on the same machine.
Okay.
Okay. So if the HTTP, I'm saying web pages application is sitting on a different machine, and the HTTP connector, the flows, the middleware part is sitting on a different machine, and if you are exposing an API, that time you will use the RESTful web services.
Okay. But how about JSON? So
Yeah, JSON and all we will discuss going forward.
okay.
Yes. Some people will use the JSON formatted data. If they use set of data, if they want to send, they will use JSON or XML formats.
So we documents also widely used in this or only JSON?
That is up to the organization. Yes, sometimes yes, it will be used. Mostly, we will send as a response all these documents. Mostly.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So the next session may be mostly on Monday or Tuesday. I think all the people from the US, right? So I'm requesting the team not to have the session on Saturday, but
Okay.
they are already committed for sessions on Saturday. That's why I took the session. Otherwise, I won't. But last weeks of the training, I will take the sessions on Saturday and Sunday.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Any other doubts, team?
No, Srikanth, I think
Okay.
no other doubts.
Okay. So, okay, we can meet on Tuesday. Okay. So we know the what is your number? I'm sorry, I'm not able to recall it. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it.
Uh,
6 7, right?
yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot, team. Thank you very much. We'll meet you on that. Okay.
Thanks.
Sure. Thank you, sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.